Today, we had a meeting of the Cabinet to discuss the law and order situation, especially in Shillong City and overall the state as a whole. As you are aware, that in the last 24 to 48 hours, there have been instances of violence and law and order situations in different parts of Shillong City. Keeping that aspect in mind, today the Cabinet meeting was held. In the Cabinet meeting, we discussed about the overall series of incidents that have happened in the last few months, including the different IED blasts that took place in Gente Hills and the IED blast which led to the injury of one lady in Laimukra in Shillong also. We briefed the Cabinet on the different aspects of the events that took place in the last 5 days and discussed also about the police operation that took place on 13th early morning. Details were given to the Cabinet ministers and the other officials who were there, and based on all those aspects and also based on suggestions that were given by the Cabinet ministers, the Cabinet has decided to constitute a judicial inquiry under the Commission of Inquiry Act to look into the events that took place on 13th early morning. Apart from this judicial inquiry, the Cabinet has also agreed and decided to set up a peace committee which will be chaired by the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, Shri Preston Chinsong, and Honorable Cabinet Ministers, Shri Hamletson Dolling and Shri Renington Tongkar will be members of this committee, and this committee will co-opt other members from civil society, including religious organizations, the local headmen, the Sinjuk Kirangbashnong, and all other civil society and members that the committee headed by Deputy Chief Minister feels appropriate that should be included in this peace committee. At the same time, keeping in mind the overall situation that's still prevailing in Shillong City, it was also decided that the curfew will continue for the next 24 hours also, which means the curfew has been extended to Wednesday morning 5 a.m. and so will the internet services in terms of the mobile internet data services will also be closed for the next extension again for another 24 hours. Apart from that, of course, there were other areas of discussion relating to law and order that took place, and valuable suggestions came in from the Cabinet ministers, and accordingly we have decided that there will be a subcommittee for security and law and order, which will be headed by Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Minister, and Home Minister will also be part of that committee. This committee will also further look into the different aspects of law and order, the future threats that there may be, at the same time look at overall strengthening the overall functioning of the police department as a whole. So these were the few decisions that were taken in the cabinet meeting that took place today. If there are any further questions that you have, I'll be happy to answer.
The Home Minister has tendered his resignation letter. So what is your decision on this, sir?
I have received the letter from the Honorable Home Minister, but I have not yet made a decision. So I'll be examining the matter and will take a decision at the appropriate time. Yes. Yes.
There is this growing demand for his removal. So,
The Honorable Home Minister, after discussion with his party colleagues, has submitted, and the discussion that they had submitted the letter to me, not resignation, but asking himself to be relieved from the home portfolio. But as I said, as a Chief Minister and as a government, I have to look at all the aspects of the state's security and overall situation. So therefore, keeping all those aspects in mind, I am examining the letter that has been given and will take a decision at the appropriate time.
Sir, apart from state police, what are other central agencies? Have you called any central agencies for security purpose?
Yes, we have spoken to the Home Secretary, and I had a detailed discussion myself with the Honorable Home Minister of India, Shri Amit Shah ji, yesterday. We spoke on 2 occasions, once in the afternoon and once in the evening. And on both occasions, he has assured us of full cooperation and support. And based on that, we have requested the Government of India to give us 5 companies, and accordingly 3 from the CRPF and 2 from the BSF have been requisitioned for us for this situation here. And out of them, 2 have already from CRPF have arrived, and 2 from BSF already have arrived.
The Home Minister has indicated in this letter that he was not privy to the whole operation, and it was not done as per that was indicated in the letter. So
Was not what?
It was not done because as per law. Because so he wanted.
I don't think that word was mentioned in that letter.
No, it was not mentioned.
Yeah, so please don't, I request if the words like this are not put into the question also, because it gives a wrong impression to others. Let's stick to the actual words he used. I mean, is my suggestion, because it leads to a lot of confusion. Yeah, it's because you're using the word as was not done as per law. That was not mentioned in the letter by the Home Minister. Yeah, so yeah, you cannot. Yeah, I'm just saying that don't use if you don't know it, because it's wrong. It sends a wrong message.
He indicated that he was not privy to the whole operation. That's what you have to say.
See, as we said, that number one, that overall the situation that unfolded in front of us was done and by the police department and the DGP and all the others who were involved in the decision making. And yes, at all levels, we have been very clear with the police department that the number one priority and number one responsibility that is there for the police and the Home Department is to ensure that the citizens of this city and the citizens of our state are safe. And based on that, we have asked them to accordingly move and ensure that that priority is kept in mind. But at the same time, as I said, the different operations and different movements do take place. And in the whole process, as I said, the intention was very clear in the time also, was to arrest the concerned person. So in these kind of instances, it's not always that the operations sometimes go according to what the plan is. And in this kind of situation also, the same thing happened. What I'm trying to say is that a lot of operations do happen, and there could be or there could not be a situation where the information was given or not given. So let the committee look into this, and that's the reason why, after looking at all these facts, we've decided that judicial inquiry should be done. Let the judicial inquiry come out with this report.
So yesterday we have seen the anti-youth have snatched away weapons from the police. So what happened to that weapon?
Yes, that particular incident that took place is completely unacceptable by the government. And the officials and the police who were involved in where they deserted at that moment their weapon already are under suspension, and we are putting up an inquiry against those individuals. For a police, the arms and the weapons they carry are as good as a part of their body. They should never, ever let go of their weapon. So what happened yesterday was unacceptable, whether it's from the police personnel who were present out there, or whether it was from the individuals who had taken them. So therefore, we are very firm on this, and we will take firm action on this. And all those people who are involved and who may have this are asked to immediately give back those weapons.
How many accidents?
How many police personnel suspended, sir?
I don't have the exact number with me right now, or I will tell you what the number is, but I will stand corrected in case the number is not what I have. But there were 4 of them. Out of the 4, 1 went away with his weapon and 3 did not. So out of these 3 and 1, exactly the number that are there, 3 for sure, but the 4th one may not be because he went away with his weapon. But still, an inquiry will be done to ensure that everything is clarified. But there were total 4 of them.
Has anyone been arrested on this case?
I can't hear you.
Anyone has been arrested in this case?
No, not yet.
And even last night, Muslims have even heard the perform as arrested. What do you have to say?
These kind of activities are meaningless. I just want to say that. We are here trying to work together to resolve all these kind of issues. And whatever has happened in the past, you will see that different kind of elements have tried to create unrest. So my appeal to all the citizens of the state, and especially people who are getting involved in these kind of activities, that this is not the way forward. I appeal to everybody that they must be peaceful. We must try to resolve these issues in a proper manner, and violence is not the way forward. So therefore, we condemn it, and obviously we will be finding the people who are responsible for this also. But at the same time, I appeal to everybody that at this point in time, we need to maintain peace in the city and the state.
The advisor, your advisor about AMA, he has suggested that the DPP of the state also should be asked to tender his resignation from the state.
As I said, that we have asked for a judicial inquiry to be put up, and this inquiry will look into all the aspects of the case, and it will look into the roles that are played by every single individual. So when a judicial inquiry is put in, it is very, very independent and a very powerful inquiry committee in nature. So therefore, whatever action needs to be taken, we will decide once a judicial inquiry submits its report.
Within how many days, and
It will be. We are just waiting for confirmation from the concerned individuals who we have identified, and looking at all the options that are there. And based on that, as soon as we got the confirmation, so even if the confirmation, say, suppose comes as early as today, then it will be instituted today itself. If it comes tomorrow, it will be instituted tomorrow. But as I said, the decision has been made that the inquiry will be. Now it's only an administrative procedure that is left, where we require the consent of the concerned individuals to be part of this committee. Once the consent is come in, it will be immediately notified.
So, media person was attacked yesterday by CRPF. What do you have to say on that?
I'm not don't have the details of the entire aspect of the attack that took place, or whether the individual journalist or media person was harmed. But obviously, this is something that we don't want it to happen, and it's something that should not happen. Media people have always only tried to bring out facts and ensure that the people are aware about the situation that's happening. So, but in the situation where there are a lot of chaos is there, a lot of tension is there, it could happen that sometimes, and it may be dark, and the CRPF could be in a situation where they were not able to identify and really clearly see who's who. So it could be that it happened in that situation, but it's something that should not happen.
So last night at Meghalaya, there was a lot of violence that had erupted, and today itself, even the MLA police officer has visited the area, and even residents of this area have demanded that the CRPF be removed from there, because every time they witness that it's that locality which always witness a lot of violence whenever this happens. So are you going to look into this?
We have had a detailed discussion on this aspect, and it has been decided that along with the Deputy Commissioner, along with the local representatives, that is the MLA and the MDC both, and other leaders from there, but there means from Meghalaya area and adjoining areas where the slight tension is there, that all of them will discuss and see how to move this forward. So therefore, presence of security is also necessary. It's something that we can't just simply take away, because the confidence of the public also has to be there. So therefore, looking at the situation and after discussing with local leaders, after discussing with the public there, we will see, the Deputy Commissioner will see, and of course the Home Department also will be involved in it. We will see how to manage this and ensure that a balance is struck between the overall tension that is out there and the concerns of the citizens or the residents that CRPF is always there and creates tension, but at the same time ensure that the presence of the armed forces also is felt. That will also make sure that the confidence is there for the people.
So, the Home Minister, sorry, because I have this, raid of police at its residence exceeding the lawful tenets of the law. Why I'm asking this question again is because they did the whole operation. So, are the bureaucrats taking major decisions with this without informing the?
No, as I've said, that departments do work. They have been given a mandate to work on a certain way, and many operations take place, many. And in these operations, these are very technically complex operations, and sometimes things don't really turn out the way they are planned, and it's not always, and it's always like that, where situations are not come out as planned. They have to, they have to improvise in the in this particular situation. At the same time, there are many such operations that take place at different levels. So it's not always that that there is a full communication in all the aspects that are there. But obviously, the head of the department is always involved in the procedure, which is the DGP, and accordingly they take decisions and move forward. And in that particular operation, as we said, that it did not go as planned, in the sense that there was no intention of harming anybody, and it was clearly a very unfortunate incident. I've already mentioned that before. And therefore, because it did not go as planned, that that the person was to be arrested and brought in, which would have been very, very beneficial for the department's inquiry that they were doing. So from all angles, it was beneficial, but it didn't go as per plan. So therefore, as I said, that it's not always that every single step or move is always informed to, to the top level, but the DGP and the other senior officials, the heads of the departments, are always involved in all of them. And right now we are, of course, concerned about this in this case, because a person lost his life. So therefore, yes, it is an unfortunate incident, and therefore, to ensure that everything, all facts come out clearly, the cabinet has decided that judicial inquiry will be set up. So we will wait for the inquiry and see how the report comes out.
So, pending this judicial inquiry, will the government suspend the police teams who are involved in the operations on August 30th?
You see, we are here to also realize that there is a law and order situation that was there even before this incident took place. Now, the police have been working very hard in the past also to resolve many of these situations that were there. And in many cases, they have successfully managed to resolve the situation, be it, the old cases that happened in Barabazar, or the other cases that happened in Ishamati, and many such cases that were there. The police has been very successfully resolving these issues and catching the people who are involved in this. And in the same way, in this case also, the police department and the police officials were working very meticulously day and night to resolve this issue. And in the process, as I mentioned, that the unfortunate incident took place, which was not the intention of either of the people who are part of the operations. But as I said, that to be fair to all, we must allow a judicial inquiry to take place. So let the inquiry report come in, and then accordingly we will make a decision.
So there's a public outcry also that this is a failure of the government. Hence, a lot of yesterday there was a loud chanting over the long list HNLC also that I've seen, and there's people saying that they're still rooting for HNLC. Would you term this exactly that this is a failure of the government? Hence, the situation, there's a lot of chaos happening. Once again, we're seeing this year.
See, one can look at a particular incident and come to a conclusion. I have no comments to mention about that. But if you, as I said, if you look at the overall work that the police department has done in the last few years to really ensure that there has been overall peace, and at the same time resolving a lot of complicated cases in a very, very short time, one doesn't realize all those aspects. So if you look at the entire cases that came up, the police department was able to resolve most of those issues. And sadly, the public does not give credit to the police when they do their part. Now, when this whole situation was there, we had a very strong intel, as I said. Number one, when the Laimukra blast took place, there was a lot of anger among the people. And people said that, why isn't the police doing anything? And then, of course, when the police moved forward and got a very strong intel that another blast would be taking place and another IED would be placed in another location in Shillong, and if the police had not acted on it and it did happen, then again the public would say that they should have acted on this. What I'm trying to say is that these are all situations and circumstances, and sometimes they don't go as planned, but they are. To term this one incident as a failure, I feel is a very, very harsh way of looking at things. There are a lot of things that we do, a lot of situations that have been diverted and averted, and those aspects also need to be considered. And therefore, as I said, this should not have been a situation. There would have been a situation where the arrest would have been made, but unfortunately it led to other circumstances. And therefore, in order to ensure that all the facts and the truths come out, we have asked for a judicial inquiry to this. We realize the inconvenience that is being caused to the students, and we realize that this will affect them for the next few days. But the overall law and order situation is of priority, and therefore, though they will be having some concerns and some difficulties that they may face, which is really something that is unavoidable at this point in time. But keeping the law and order situation in mind, the priority of the government will always be to maintain the law and order situation. Thank you.